Welcome back to Clue Me In, where we unravel the world's strangest mysteries, disappearances, unsolved crimes, and eerie cases that leave more questions than answers. I'm Liv.
I'm Kay.
And I'm Grace, bringing you bold theories, unverified facts, and the kind of confidence that doesn't require accuracy.
Every episode, Kay and I break down a mystery, and Grace reacts, theorizes, and ultimately delivers her definitive answer.
Today we're covering the strange disappearance of a YouTuber and a desert hiker who went looking for a mysterious cave near Area 51 and never came back.
I mean, when you say Area 51 and missing hiker, it kind of writes itself. Now that you've added mysterious cave, I think I'm gonna head out.
We'll try to stick around, Grace, because this one is very interesting.
Meet Kenny Veach. In 2014, Kenny was a 47-year-old experienced hiker and adventurer from Nevada. He went by the username Snakebit McGee on YouTube and often documented his solo hikes through the Mojave Desert, many of which took him dangerously close to military testing zones.
Okay, I'm a little intrigued.
Yeah, and when she says dangerous, she means dangerously close. Some of his hikes went near places like Nevada Test Site and even the edge of Area 51. So Kenny definitely wasn't afraid to push boundaries. In the comments of one of his hiking videos, he casually mentioned something bizarre. He said he once came across a cave shaped like a perfect M. When he tried to go inside it, his whole body started to vibrate violently.
Whoa.
Yeah, and he said it was so intense and terrifying that he turned back immediately.
That was probably a wise choice.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, he described it as the most scared that he had ever been. He said he felt like something was deeply wrong.
Yeah, I'd say that Kenny's got some good survival instincts, maybe at least on that cave.
Yeah, for sure. But instead of just, leaving it behind, several people online begged him to go back and find the M Cave, and Kenny promised a return trip, and he said that he would bring a camera this time.
Maybe I take back my survival instincts comment.
Well, and what really, unsettled people later on was that one of Kenny's final comments, he wrote, "This ain't nothing. Maybe it will be my last hike."
Why would he say that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like that's just testing fate.
Yeah, for sure. So on November 10th, 2014, Kenny set out for that hike alone. Before that trip, he'd actually uploaded a video titled M Cave Hike. But in that one, he didn't find the cave that he mentioned, and he said that he would just try again.
Interesting.
And that second attempt was his last. Kenny never returned. A few days later, his girlfriend reported him missing.
So he'd been to it before. Mm-hmm. How did he not find it in the video that he uploaded?
That would be one of the mysteries,
right? Yeah, for sure. I mean, that is a really big mystery. It's also, the desert. So a lot of things look the same. But he was also a very experienced hiker who, went out there a lot. And so it was kind of, surprising that he didn't find it. Yeah. So search and rescue teams, when they were looking, found his phone, and they found it near a mine entrance. But his phone wasn't broken or hidden. It was just sitting there.
That's
it wasn't
eerie.
dead. It wasn't broken. Yeah.
Because I feel like, especially in the desert, animals or something could have... I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and what was also eerie was, there's no sign of struggle, no gear nearby, no footprints leading further in, just the phone. Almost like he stepped out of existence.
Or through a portal.
And here is where it gets even stranger. That should be one of our taglines. Years after Kenny disappeared, a YouTuber named Desert Runner decided to retrace his steps, which seems... I don't think that I would decide to do that, but sure.
Hey, a guy went missing. Let me just do the same thing.
Right.
He found the cave once,
committed.
didn't find it the second or third time, or the second time, and then the third time disappeared. But let me try.
Right.
So this Desert Runner guy, he analyzed Kenny's original hiking footage frame by frame. He compared the terrain features, matched up landmarks using satellite images, and even looked at GPS data from the area. He basically built a whole case file trying to find the exact location that Kenny had described in his
For
videos.
the cave?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of effort.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He was very committed.
Definitely. Yeah. And in one of his videos, he claims that he finally made it to the same area. And not only that, he says that the cave was there. Like, when he got back the second time, he said that it had been completely sealed off and covered. Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. So it was covered, like, not like a tarp or something, but like a rock wall. So it was like it had been filled in or closed up with other rocks.
Is this the one that's really close to Area 51?
Correct.
That doesn't seem coincidental at all.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right, so here's where it takes a turn into, just like what we were talking about, full conspiracy territory. So Desert Runner also claimed that he was followed twice by a black SUV after leaving the area. He even filmed one of them parked off a desert road, kind of lurking.
And he just continued on his journey?
Yeah. I don't know. He may have turned back at that point. I'm not really sure, but... Yeah, so it freaked people out. I mean, commenters started bringing up everything from government surveillance to secret underground bases and whatever you can think of.
Yeah, I feel like that's when I would just, like, go off the grid and, like, never be seen again.
Yeah. Well, and some people did point out that Desert Runner never found definitive proof that it was the M Cave, just that it matched Kenny's description. But others said that, honestly, it's too much of a coincidence to not be the M Cave.
And the fact that it was covered up after Kenny felt his body vibrating trying to enter the cave.
Right. Yeah. And the way the area looked suddenly, like, tampered with after Kenny went missing, like, it gave a lot of people the chills.
Whether it was military testing, a natural phenomenon, or something more bizarre, a lot of folks think that Desert Runner got dangerously close to whatever Kenny found.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. Especially with the mysterious SUVs following him around.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, yeah.
Yep. So, in one of his videos, Desert Runner actually gets sick. Like, physically sick. He throws up on camera while hiking in the same area that Kenny described.
Yeah, and he said that he suddenly felt lightheaded, disoriented, and then just, boom, vomit. He was miles into the desert, too, and hadn't had any issues up to that time.
Yeah, so it's not like he was already feeling kind of, like, lightheaded or dehydrated.
Right. Yeah, and he said that. He said he didn't feel, like, dehydration or altitude. It was this intense, sudden wave of nausea. Like, something just hit him all at once.
Which is especially weird because, like, Kenny talked about in his video that his whole body vibrating.
Right.
And that, like, he felt, like, this primal fear when he got too close to the cave. So Desert Runner didn't report that same thing, but, like, sudden sickness, I think that's enough to freak people out.
Yeah, definitely. And yet, I mean, people keep going. That cave is still, like, I mean, internet sleuths are obsessed. And nobody really knows, like, what he really stumbled across out there.
Yeah, I feel like I definitely just need, I don't know, more maybe? Let's go over some of the clues.
Okay, so... Clue number 1 is just the M Cave itself. Like, Kenny described it as a cave shaped like a perfect capital M. He said when it gets close, his entire body starts to vibrate.
He even called it one of, like, the scariest moments of his life. And despite being an experienced hiker who loved danger, he turned around and left.
I know, I feel like that's the clue right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Well, and so clue number 2 was his final comment on his YouTube post, which was, maybe this will be my last hike.
Yeah. Which in hindsight, like, chills.
That's kind of, right.
Yeah, no one realized that might actually be, like, goodbye.
Yeah, like, imagine the fear you would have had to feel when you were near that cave to, like, thinking about going there a second time was like, oh, this might be it. Like,
but then also, like, why go if you're that scared?
Right.
Exactly.
Like, I get your followers want you to, but...
He was just one of those guys who just, like, lives for it.
The adrenaline.
Yeah. So the next clue is the phone that was near the mine. So after he vanished, search teams found his cell phone that was just sitting there.
But there were no other clues, no backpack, no footprints, no sign of distress. It's like he dropped it off and then vanished into thin air. So then the fourth clue is his girlfriend's warning. So she said Kenny had nearly died before on a solo hike due to dehydration. She had begged him not to go alone, again, like to search for this M cave, but he did. And this time he actually did not come back. So
That's so sad.
Yeah.
I feel bad for his girlfriend.
Yeah. So then there's the black SUV. So Desert Runner, who later retraced Kenny's steps, he claimed he was followed by a mysterious black SUV while leaving the desert, and he actually filmed it at a distance.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So then there's the other clue of the sealed cave. So Desert Runner said he found a rock wall that looked exactly like it had been deliberately sealed, and the shape was off. Like, it was too flat, too clean, almost like someone had put it there to hide something.
And then, obviously, we have the sudden sickness. The Desert Runner became violently ill, threw up, just like, kind of like Kenny's story about his physical distress as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then we have the last clue, which I honestly think might be one of the most important clues because, I mean, the proximity to the military land,
right.
Like, it was right near the Nellis Air Force Base and Area 51. Mm-hmm. Some believe he may have, like, stumbled into a restricted area and then wasn't supposed to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eerie.
Yeah. Lots of clues. All right. So are you ready for some of the theories?
Yeah, let's get into them.
All right. So theory number 1, he got lost or died from exposure. So the simplest explanation is often the saddest. I mean, Kenny was hiking alone in a dangerous desert, so maybe he got turned around, ran out of water, succumbed to the elements.
Especially if it kind of happened before.
Yeah, but with that one, I mean, like, his phone was found just a few miles from where he parked. So if he was lost, why wasn't there more evidence? Like, why no remains?
Mm-hmm, That's true. So then there's the next theory that he fell into the mine shaft where his phone was found. So the Mojave Desert is littered with, like, old unmarked mines. So people believe that he could have fallen into one just to never be found.
That's not bad of a theory, I guess.
Yeah, well, the problem with that one is that search and rescue crews did check nearby shafts with cameras, but there are hundreds, and some go too deep to reach.
So it is kind of plausible.
Yeah, they just couldn't reach all of them.
They couldn't, rule it out.
And they did check the one that his phone was near,
That's
which would
true,
be the one that you would expect to
Yeah.
find something in, Yeah, but so then the other one was that he was taken or silenced either by someone and this is, where things get weird. Like, some people believe Kenny found something he wasn't supposed to see.
Right.
Maybe related to military experiments or secret tech.
Well, and I'm not saying I believe that one, but, like, especially since he was, like, filming everything. If he accidentally captured, like, a classified tech or, like, a convert site on video, like, someone might have stepped in to make sure that footage and Kenny, like, were never seen again and was never able to surface.
Yeah.
Plausible.
And then there's a theory that he faked his own death.
Oh.
So this is like a small group, but a very vocal group who thinks that Kenny may have staged the whole thing. Maybe he wanted to disappear, start over somewhere else without a trace.
But there's no evidence that he, like, prepared for that. So, like, no hidden money, no goodbye letters, just a hike that he never came back from.
And it seemed very intentional that he was going to find this cave.
Yeah.
It's not that he just went hiking randomly and never came back. Like, there was a purpose of his trip.
Yeah, and he also wasn't even going to go on this trip until his YouTuber viewers were like,
begged him
on
to.
this trip.
Yes, which brings us to the final theory, which is the cave was real and dangerous. Like, some people believe that the M cave is a naturally occurring anomaly, like high levels of electromagnetic energy or radiation, enough to cause disorientation or hallucinations. I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, like, that could explain why both Kenny's vibrating feeling and the Desert Runner's sudden sickness, but, like, if that's true, then, like, what's inside the cave that's causing that?
And why did it get mysteriously sealed off?
Yeah.
Exactly.
What I learned from all of this is that I'm never going hiking ever.
Yeah.
Well, specifically in the desert, I must say, which we don't have deserts near us, so I guess I'm good, but still.
Never hiking in the desert. All right, Grace, you've heard it all.
Every clue and every theory.
So tell us, what is your take?
What really went down with the M cave?
Government conspiracy.
Love it.
In all seriousness, I do think that there's something crazy going on in the cave.
Yeah.
It being closed off, and then him disappearing, and then Desert Runner getting sick randomly, all at the same spot.
Yep.
I'm just thinking, oh, and the black SUVs. I forgot about that.
Yep.
I think definitely somebody, not saying who, might have made sure that Kenny's video wasn't posted.
Yep.
I mean, so, like, just to throw out my own kind of theory
Yeah,
there, like, it's on the same with, like, yours, Grace, but, like, I'm wondering if, like, he did go into the M cave eventually, and, like, maybe it wasn't supernatural or, like, anything abnormal, but, like, maybe he legit got, like, hurt or something,
that's
and
true.
then what
They
if the
sealed it
military or, like, Area 51 knew that was a dangerous cave and, like, sealed it off,
So
and he's, like, stuck
how would
inside?
he have gotten hurt?
No,
Like,
I mean, we don't know what's in the M cave.
Maybe it's a portal to another dimension.
Like, since
What
nobody
if
else
the
has, like, gone
government
in.
is using the M cave as, like, their
Whoa.
secret.
That is true, yeah.
Yeah.
But because there's just
I hadn't
a lot
thought
of
of that,
theories
though,
that
okay.
could be true.
Yeah, and all of them include
The government.
I mean, with this one, it's really hard not to.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Right
it
next-
doesn't feel like a stretch.
No, and
No.
it's right next to what people would assume it's Area 51, but it is right next to, like, a military base.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
like,
Yeah.
and the black SUVs. Come on.
like in the desert, that's a little weird.
Yeah.
and
for
multiple
Sure.
of them just following Desert Runner.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we can all agree. Government.
I'm with you on this one. I am.
Conspiracy.
With
government.
this one, for sure.
Yeah. We'll work on the details and get back to everybody later, but government is the conclusive piece of our theory.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Clue Me In. If you want to dive deeper into the mystery of Kenny Veach and the M Cave, don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review.
What do you think? Was the M Cave real or just a desert legend? And why do people keep disappearing out there? You can find us on Instagram at cluemein_podcast.
And if you're in the desert and feel your body start vibrating or you get very ill, just turn around, grab a snack, go home.
See you next time on Clue Me In.